Now, last week I looked at Sonic Riders Zero Gravity, a somewhat bland attempt at a Sonic-themed racing game. It had potential, but lacked something I like to call long-term fun. And at the end, I told you that I'd tell you about a racing game worth playing this week. Well, here we are. Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed, a game that takes the advice I had recommended. It dropped all semblance of a story, and, forgive the pun, but transformed into a game worth owning and inviting friends over for. In essence, this game changed from an attempt to be something unique to a game that decides to copy Mario Kart. And that's not a bad thing. Right from the start, you'll get that it has an arcade-like feel, from some guy announcing every mode or character you choose to the remarks you hear during the races themselves. There's no hiding the fact that this game could easily be eating your quarters. Some of the tracks are unlocked right from the start, and so are some of the racers themselves. Modes are available right from the start as well, but most of the content is locked behind the career mode, in which you choose a track and character and race to win. To unlock more content, it's simple. You just play races. By racing on tracks and winning, you unlock more of the courses. As for the characters, you just need to win. A lot. Because each circuit in the campaign mode has one or more unlockable racers. By winning races, you'll earn stars. Once you earn enough stars, you can highlight the unlockable and earn that driver. It's a very simple system and one that works effectively. But I'm sure you want to know how the game plays, and not all about the mechanics that work in the background. Well, it's a kart racer. Nothing else really needs to be said. You race around, picking up weapons, drifting around corners, easily this time I might add, and hitting speed boosts. These weapons range from seeking rockets, to giant pufferfish that spawn directly behind you, snowballs that can freeze your opponent, tornadoes that wipe out the people ahead of you, and the dreaded hornet swarm that creates about a dozen path-blocking bugs to try and destroy the momentum of the racer first. Not all power-ups are weapons, of course. There are turbo boosts. There is something that creates a temporary speed boost and allows you to discharge it as a damaging shockwave at any time, although it can damage you if you don't expunge it before it overheats. And copyright infringement be damned, you can obtain a rare star item that gives you a speed increase and invulnerability. When someone obtains a star, you'll hear a remixed version of their theme song as well, so that's pretty cool. Another cool thing about the races is the transformation part. Basically, each character can change from a cart into a boat or plane, depending on what part of the track you're racing on. Most of the time you'll be forced into a vehicle, but there are times where the track may fork and you get to choose between two different types. The game will tell you that the planes are faster than boats, and I think wheeled craft are in between, so you can use that as a gauge. Although the steering between each vehicle type is different, so you might want to keep that in mind too. When in boats and planes, you'll see that the static boost strips on the tracks change into four-sided tunnels. When you hit those, you'll speed up, but if you're heading into a wall, you'll strike it. So you really need to determine whether hitting that boost area is worth the risk. Most of the time, you'll be able to steer away from the danger, but you still need to remember this. There is something interesting about the tracks themselves. As you play through each race, the tracks may change. You might have started each lap with a car, but once you cross the line to hit the third lap, you may find out yourself to suddenly be flying. This just adds more to the whole transformation idea in the title of the game. Overall, the tracks are just a blast to race on. They are designed on popular Sega franchises, from the well-known Sonic, Panzer Dragoon, and Golden Axe, to even the possibly lesser-known ones like Samba de Amigo. You might remember some of the layouts and references. That's what makes the game so fun. You'll be driving along and practically point out some of the things you may notice and remember. It's cool as hell, and it just adds to the overall appeal of the game. You're not just limited to the standard campaign either. There are different race types. Some of these force you to drive as quickly as you can through checkpoints while either hitting speed tracks or drifting to pause the countdown timer. There are races that simply force you to eliminate your opposing racers by force by using weapons. There are even others that truthfully I haven't even played yet. I simply played the career mode, but there was so much of the game that I haven't even touched yet. Oh, and there is a ring race mode, and I seriously can't help but compare it to Superman 64. At least this functions infinitely better than that pile. Although in an unusual twist, I actually managed to play this game with a friend. I know, we both enjoyed it too, as the entire game is available in co-op, even the campaign. The main difference I noticed, other than of course the friend competing with me, was that you can actually hold two power-ups and switch between them at will. One thing I will say that seems out of place is one of the unlockable racers, Danica Patrick. Really? Is there some reference I'm missing? Granted, there might actually be more unusual ones I haven't seen yet, but I just wanted to mention her. It just seems strange, that's all. I don't think I really have anything else to say about Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed. It's just a really enjoyable game with bright visuals, awesome remixed music, and a large amount of content. Sure, it feels like a Mario Kart clone, but is that really a bad thing? If you enjoy kart racers but don't own any Nintendo consoles, this is really an acceptable substitution. And if you have friends to play with, that's even better. Final score? 10 out of 10. This is Reaper. Happy fragging.